Good morning, everybody. Another episode of the Keep Going podcast, Athletes Shining a Light on Mental Health. Super excited. Got the full gang in here this morning. And it's kind of weird looking to my left here. Mason Villafuerte is here in person. You might not be able to tell on Zoom, but we are in the same room, which is kind of cool for a Sunday morning. Dave, where are you coming out of, man?
Yeah, I'm coming out of Colorado today. Still here. I'm enjoying it.
Yeah, man. How's the weather been? What you been up to this, June going into July?
Yeah, this month I previously ran my first marathon a couple weeks ago.
Woo! Talk about that, Big Dave.
Yeah, it was a tough one. We started at I think 8,000 elevation feet, and then we dropped down to like 6,000. So it was at a high elevation, but it was good. It was a good challenge. But right now we're getting some smoke from the Utah fires right now. It's really smoky outside, unfortunately. So hopefully, just pray for some rain, some water, so those can calm down a little bit. But yeah, I'm doing good. What about yourself?
No, everything is good, man. Like I said, thoughts and prayers for everything going on in Utah, and then obviously bleeding into other states. I haven't heard much about it, but when are they thinking it'll be back to normal?
No, I don't know. There's a couple of fires in Utah, and then there's a couple fires in Colorado right now. So it's really dry and high right now. So I don't know. It just depends on I guess the weather and the wind and how fast they can control it.
No, understood, man. Well, please keep us posted. Obviously, we're all in different parts of the country. That stuff will happen. So glad that you're all safe, and I want to get you back outside. I know that's big for your mental health as well. Jackie, what's going on in your end? Where are you coming out of?
I'm in Mass today. I got back from New York yesterday, worked last night, and then the Sox are about to sweep the Yankees. So I'm in a good mood.
All right, well, let's just stay there for a second. Last time I checked, Sox country was on fire. Is it still on fire? What's the current state of the Boston Red Sox?
It's always on fire, I think. But like this is what happened last year. We did good against the Yankees, and then we had a crazy July. So I'm hoping that that's the theme again this year.
Yeah, I think you got overshadowed. I don't know if you guys saw that clip, how bad the New York Mets have been.
Oh yeah,
They fired their manager either yesterday or the day before, and Mr. Met is dancing around back there behind the cameraman. Yeah, really bad. So at least you guys aren't the Mets. It definitely could be worse. So it could be one of
yeah,
the.
could be worse. They might hire our manager we just fired. So
Yeah, it's
good
just
luck.
it's just not good. Not a good look. But no, shout out to the Red Sox. We all hate the Yankees, so it's good to see that. And then also, if Jackie, if I'm not mistaken, 5-year anniversary this week.
Yes, yes.
Congratulations to
With
you and
with a
Jules,
Yankees fan. Thank you.
who is also a Yankees fan. Talk about the 5-year anniversary. Shout out Jules while we're here.
Yeah, it was good. We had a wedding in upstate New York. Jules's best friend's brother got married, so we got to go up to that, spend some time together. Didn't have the best weather after the wedding, but I'd never been to upstate New York, so we got to go to this really cool lake state park, do a little like trail walk around that. It was good.
No, beautiful thing. And once again, shout out Jules. She's been on the pod. She's been a big part of what we do. And Jackie, 5 years is something to be proud of for sure. And everybody's
Yeah.
thinking what I'm thinking, but we just won't even talk about that right now because that's not why we're here. It's a mental health podcast. All right, dude. I do have Billy here. And once again, Jackie has been on me about the intros. If I don't intro this guy the right way, I will not be on the podcast much longer. Mason Villafuerte, actually one of my NCSA athletes back in the day, Rockford Lutheran, all 4 years.
Yep.
And then Highland was your only college offer out of high school, if I'm not mistaken.
Offer, yeah.
Yeah, true offer and opportunity. Two-way guy, lefty bats, also a pitcher as well. Mason, great to have you here, man. Why did you decide to come on the podcast today?
I mean, I remember when I first met you, we were at Lutheran having that meeting, and it just ended up being one other guy that showed up.
Yeah.
And I remember then, ever since then, you've just been right by my side along my way. So when you sent me the text and you're like, "Hey, you want to jump on?" Of course, man.
I appreciate
You've been there for me. Got to be here for you.
Yeah, man, that's love right there. And I'll tell you, Mason's been nothing but a pleasure to work with, not only in the recruiting process, but now to watch his successes this year in his freshman year at Highland. I don't want to go into that all yet. I want to stick with when did you get into sports and what role sports has played on your life, dude?
So I started playing sports probably when I was like 5 or 6. But I was probably one of the worst players on the team all the way until I was like 13, 14.
Love that.
I was a late bloomer, just didn't really have the talents, was a little chubby, slow on the slower side, so I never really had like that athletic ability. But I remember I kind of told my dad, I was like, hey, I don't really want to sit the bench anymore. Like, I want to play. So remember, would just go outside, start training with him, and just keep working, do as much as I could. And I remember I started seeing the results on the field and practices, all that. And next thing I know, was starting on my high school teams and had a great time with that. But baseball wasn't even my sport growing up.
Yeah, you're a football guy too, a little bit, correct?
Yeah, yeah. But football didn't start up till high school.
Yeah.
It was mainly basketball when I was younger.
Yeah.
But no, and then as I got older, I realized kind of just my enjoyment for baseball, put basketball to the side, and then just grinded out baseball and football all through high school.
No doubt. And then being a 3-sport guy, trying different sports out. When was that moment where you knew it was going to be baseball?
I feel like when it was probably my sophomore year, because that's when I finally started like growing a little bit and just started seeing more results on the field. I remember my spring season for high school wasn't great, but then I remember in summer I turned around, started batting like 440, and I was like, hey, I might have a future in this baseball thing.
Yeah. I would also ask you too, in a city like Rockford, right? You think Rockford, if anybody's ever been to Rockford, Illinois, you think biggest city, besides Chicago and Illinois.
Yeah.
But you're going to a small Lutheran school, man. How was that experience, religiously, and how was that experience baseball-wise?
Religiously, it was like cool because I'm a Catholic, so
Right.
going to a Lutheran school, there's a little differences there.
100%.
But honestly, you start to realize that everything's kind of the same. It's just like a few little differences here and there. So I actually enjoyed like the experience religiously. We had religion classes every day, every week. So just kind of getting to learn about that was kind of cool. And then the sports side of it, man, because everyone expects private schools to be able to recruit all these kids, but for football, we're struggling to get numbers on the field.
Exactly.
We would start in the summer with like 30 guys, think we're good, and then come first week of playoffs, we'd be down to like 17 healthy guys.
Right.
And then for baseball, I mean, we would fill up a roster, but we'd only have maybe 10 or 11 actually capable guys of playing. So if a couple guys get hurt, it's kind of one of those things.
Yeah, no doubt. And I got to thank Chris Carlson. Chris Carlson was one of Mason's high school coaches. I actually played in college with Chris, Schaumburg guy I've known for about 10 years now. And without Chris, we don't get connected.
No.
But it's kind of funny. We talk about God winks. Obviously, I'm a man of faith. Our entire podcast is faith-filled throughout the daily stuff. It's funny. We show up that day at Lutheran, and like you said, there's 2 kids there, you and Nate. You guys both go on to play in college. You guys will both be looking for 4-year schools next year. I think that's funny how God works sometimes. In your life, man, did you ever think you were going to play junior college baseball? I know that wasn't a thought at some point.
Never.
Yeah, man. What changed for you? Why did you decide to make the switch over to Coach Swab and Highland College?
Honestly, it was kind of the decision the talk about we had here when I came in one day.
Yeah.
I remember you told me that I had the skill set there, but I was super late on the recruiting side of it. And then, let alone too, just the weight. Because I remember when I first came to you, I think I was like 130.
Man, you were lanky, man. You were lanky for sure.
Still not the biggest guy, but definitely put some weight on.
Oh, you look good, man. It's funny, like seeing Mason in person today. It's definitely a different player than you were like a year ago, which is a good thing. We like that. We like the growth side of it, and it means the weight room has treated you well, and the diet has treated you well as well. Talk about this. I know there was a big injury that went on that kind of put you behind in the recruiting process. If you feel comfortable, talk about that injury. I think it would help other athletes. Yeah.
Yeah. So going into my junior season, I never really pitched at all through high school, even before that. But I remember I started kind of getting into it, and then being a lefty helps obviously too. And so I started training, got in with the trainer, was working. And about a week before our season started, I was feeling good. Had another lesson and went to go throw a pitch, and I felt my elbow pop. And I just remember I was thinking, like, shoot, this might be it. I might be out for over a year and a half, just recovering all that, and then I might just completely lose my window of opportunity. But then ended up going to get an MRI, showed that I had a level 2 sprain in my UCL, so wasn't completely torn, but it sent me out for throwing for probably about 2 months, which even after that, the whole summer and even into the fall a little bit, it was just still like some days it'd feel great, some days I'd throw it, and I just feel like it's about to pop again. And it was one of those things where I almost kind of hoped that or wish that it tore a little bit just because I could get the surgery for it. Because with then at least you know it's fixed. Like
right. You don't know if it's fixed or not. Yeah.
With this, it was just one of those things where I'm throwing and it might feel good, but then the next day it's right back to being almost strained again.
Right. And when did you like officially get back to 100%? And like, how did you know you were back?
I don't know if I ever fully really knew. It's just kind of that the pain started just stopping completely, which once that happened, I was like, okay, like it must be finally healed.
Yeah, no, it's awesome to hear. And I know that was a big stressor. I know a lot of us, Jackie included, you went through a big time injury, you know, on the physical side and the mental side when you're going through your recruiting process. Talk about that injury, Jackie. Can you relate to that at all?
Yeah, I mean, I can definitely relate. I think obviously every injury physically is different and then has its differences in terms of the impact on you mentally. So I'm just curious, Mason, like, was there anything during that time, anyone you leaned on or anything you practiced for yourself to get through that mentally? Because I know that can be a drag just as much as the injury itself.
Yeah. Well, I was trying to hear you
the mental side of it. Yeah.
Yeah. So it was, I don't know, it was just kind of a bummer because I couldn't really do anything like for sports wise. So I was just trying to pick up new hobbies for those next couple of months, just something to pick me up while I'm just watching my teammates play and practice. Started just kind of getting into just running a little bit because that was probably one of the only things that I could doing. So it just kind of got me out and moving off, just kind of off my just butt sitting around, which that really helped. Just being outside, just still running, just putting the AirPods in, just going for a run, and then, but no, it stunk though. Just kind of sitting around, especially because like we talked about, just that window of opportunity like that.
Yeah.
I needed that season to be a big year for me, and it just kind of just never really happened.
Yeah. Dave, and then on the physical side, Dave obviously alluded to being kind of an undersized guy. I know we can relate on that, man. Like, when was that switch for you when you got a little bit more physical and then started to see the dividends on the field?
Yeah, I think it was probably well, all throughout my career, I've kind of changed and gotten stronger and always kind of kept at it at the weight room. But I think my last year of baseball in college is really when I when it took off for me. I was able to drive the ball with some power and just the physicality of having a little bit more mass behind the baseball helps for sure.
No, 100%. I think, Dave, you obviously were a JUCO guy. You know, you're a Rock Valley guy. Obviously, he's a Highland playing for Swall, which Dave and Swall are really good friends, obviously. So it's all connected. Dave, any advice for Mason as he goes back for his sophomore year, man?
Yeah, I think keep putting in the work every single day. Rely on your teammates, rely on your coach, ask your coach questions. I just talked to Swalv this week. He's a good guy. So he's there to help you. He'll help you get through the struggle. Any struggles that you have, he's a good guy for sure. So you're in good hands over there.
Yeah, I would definitely agree. I definitely agree. We've been lucky enough to have Swalv on the podcast. I won't talk about the wiffle ball tournament. Swalv, if you're listening, we're coming for you, brother. Next year, you better be there. But no, in all seriousness, awesome to see it. And you've had some good coaches throughout your career. Do me a favor for the next 30 seconds. Shout out all your coaches and trainers that have been a big part of your journey.
Oh, here we go.
Here we go on the spot, baby. Let's go.
Let's see how good my memory is. Here we go. Jason Olson, Corey Schrank, Tom Schuster, Adrian Rapier, Pat O'Malley,
Oh, my guy.
Chris Carlson, Coach Butters, Ryan Ferrucci.
Shout out Farouz too, Rockford guy.
Yeah,
Oh yeah,
yep.
oh yeah.
Adam Westendorf, and then Brett Swalv, Chance Sharp.
Yeah, man.
So it's
Big part of your journey, huh?
big part of my journey, yeah.
All right, let's stay there. Obviously, there's no success story without a family backing, without friends being there. What has your support group meant to you over the last couple of years? Talk about your support group.
It's meant a lot. My family's been there with me every step of the way. They never, because I was the first college athlete in like my family. So,
Right, it was a big thing.
So my parents obviously didn't know anything about it. I didn't know anything about it.
Right.
So, but they were with me every step of the way. They trusted me to kind of just be able to navigate the system, put a little bit of trust into you too to help give me that help that I needed. But no, it was an adventure with that. Just kind of all the talks we would have, and then friends too. Just especially having Nate as some guy that's trying to get into.
Shout out Nate too, and obviously went together. Yeah.
But no, that whole trip was fun. Just trying to talk to schools, even though the offers didn't come in, but just still getting that experience, just kind of talking to a couple schools, just figuring out kind of what that looked like. And then when I did go on my visit for Highland, just getting that was having my dad and my mom both there with me for that visit. It meant a lot. But it just felt like home. Was able to charm me, charm the parents.
Oh yeah, Swalwell, he's a little charmer. You know that, D Mitch.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, just having them every step of the way, just putting their trust in me, trust in my plan, it helped out a lot.
I completely agree, man. Now, I'm going to kick it over to D Mitch in the mailbag in a second. What I will harp on is in this process, right? Sports, recruiting, life after sports. We talk about that a bunch on this podcast.
Yeah.
Any advice for kids that are in the thick of it? Because the day-to-day is hard, man. Like the NCAA 5 for 5 just passed last week.
All that, yeah.
Things are crazy right now in this world. Any advice for kids that are going through this or even athletes after college?
Honestly, I just feel like it always gets brighter at some point. Like we all obviously have our moments where we just thought like, are we ever going to make it out of it? And whether it's few days, weeks, months, there's just always that brighter side out of it. And that was the biggest thing I kind of had to look for, was just throughout college the first year and then high school too, that there were a lot of lows. And it was just trying to just focus on how can I get out of this and reach like the brighter sides eventually, which once you try to focus on the positive side of things, I feel like it makes it a lot easier. Because even when you have some of those poor performances, whether it's in the classroom or school, friends, relationships, whatever, you're always able to kind of just focus on those positive things, and it makes your life a little more enjoyable.
Yeah. Dave, in the words of Ed Milet, I think that's the clip of the week right there. Dave, fired up, man. Ask my boy some questions here.
Yeah. I played baseball as well. And how has the mental side of baseball affected your mental health?
I don't know. I'd say it probably, I don't know if it worsened it or bettered it, because I'm a very like perfectionist person. So when I didn't have those good days, I was really tough on myself. But then once you had those good games, and it's just like the high you feel from it was just crazy. And it's just like my whole life has just been trying to find that balance, because you can't live too high off the highs, but when those lows happens, you gotta, like I said, you gotta try to focus on those positive aspects.
Definitely. I'm the same way. Throughout my career, I was definitely hard on myself, but once you kind of ease up a little bit and kind of be a little bit more grateful for where you're at in your life, it helps a ton when you're going through that struggle. What have you been doing recently for your mental health?
Just been going on runs, just trying to be outside as much as possible. Having friends. The girlfriend's been a big help.
Yeah, shout her out while we're here, man. Shout her out.
But yeah, shout out Betsy Mian. But no, it's she's been a big help on it because I've been able to kind of just talk to her and just kind of express some of my concerns, my worries, kind of with the athletic side of thing, and then my own mental health as well. And like I said, just being outside. Heard you've been doing a marathon, been running out. That's been a big help. Just kind of out there, just kind of tune out everything and just enjoy just being outside. And then honestly, I felt though I could always just pick up a baseball, pick up a bat, and just go into a facility by myself and just find peace in there.
Yeah, that's what we'll be doing after this, obviously. Go ahead, Dan.
Yes, sir. My last question is you're going into your sophomore year, right?
Yeah.
So what advice would you tell someone that's going into their freshman year of college right now, the transition phase?
Don't take anything for granted. It was the biggest wake up call I think I've ever witnessed because obviously I went to a small high school, smaller conference, but I'd say for that conference I probably dominated in it, especially my junior senior year. And then you get to college and it's everyone's on that level, if not higher. And especially in the JUCO world, everyone's competing to get out. Like you're all buddies, but then once you hit the field, you're trying to outdo that next person, and you build a good brotherhood with it, and that's something I'll probably like really enjoy, especially going back. But yeah, you gotta take the grind really serious in college. There's not a day you can take off because the moment you take off, that's another day someone can get ahead of you.
Yeah, I would agree 100%. And obviously, the preface of our podcast is that keep going moment, right?
Yeah.
Probably been thinking about this one, man. Tell us your keep going moment. When was that moment that would have knocked the normal person down?
So it was our exit meeting going into Christmas break. And obviously, since you've known me, I've been more of a hitter than I have been a pitcher.
Agreed.
Pitching was, I think, high school, summer, all years. Obviously, the injury didn't help that. But I think through all 4 years, I maybe had 8 or 9 innings on the mound total.
Yep.
So I went to Highland completely expecting just to be a hitter. Like that's what I was ready to be going. And then my exit meeting, I remember our coach came up to me. He was like, "Hey, if you're gonna be done hitting here."
Yeah.
And for me, like hitting was my whole life. It was like the way I escaped it. Pitching was not really my thing, and it was just kind of having to be able to let that part of me go and just fully embrace the pitching side of it.
Yeah.
And even with that, there was my first outing. I remember you texted me, went pretty good.
Yeah, bro, I was there. Yeah.
The second outing wasn't as pretty. I remember it was 9 pitches, 8 balls.
Oh, yeah. We've all been there.
And then it was just like I kind of talked about earlier, just being able to set those, just kind of be able to focus on those positives, just realize that it is going to get better, realize that I did it before, and just kind of, like you said, just keep going, just keep pushing through it.
I was waiting for the keep going mantra right there. You had to drop one. Man, it's inspiring, man. As a young guy, we have a lot of former college athletes, a lot of college coaches. I always find, I don't know how the group feels. I go to Jackie next. It's always great having current college athletes because it's not the same how it was even 5 years ago. Jackie, I'm going to let you just run with that, but that's kind of what I want to say there. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, it's different in good and bad ways you see, but then it's refreshing when we talk to someone like you, Mason, because you definitely are going about it the right way and with a good head on your shoulders. And you kind of alluded to it there earlier. Just you said something along the lines of like not taking time off in the terms of if I stop, like somebody else's work might outwork me to that degree. And I think you don't want to compare yourself to others, but there is a layer of thinking about your competitors or just thinking about people your age that might be working hard. So keeping that mindset, it sounds like you have a good mindset in regards to work ethic and balance as well. I'm glad to hear that you're willing to talk about these things because I think it sometimes, like I think Dave, Pat, and I can agree, it took us a long time to be able to talk about these things. Definitely, we weren't talking about it in college like you are. So continue working with the mindset that you have, and it'll get you far for sure.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's definitely strong to have someone come on and talk this openly, right? It's definitely inspirational. And motivational for other athletes that are still waiting to start their journey. I will wrap us up with this. Very simply put, this process is daunting, right?
Yeah.
This is a tough, everyday grind. It's not hard to tell, though, what athletes are going to make it. You let me know last night at 11 o'clock, hey, dude, I'm coming in. I'm going to get there early just in case we have any technical stuff, and you're going to stay and work out after. You can tell how one guy or one lady does something. They're usually doing everything the same way. So, Mace, I commend you for that and the man that you are. And you're going to go on and play pretty high-level baseball, and then we'll see where it takes you, man. And then professionally, I got a lot of high hopes for you moving forward, man. That's all I got for the podcast today. D. Mitch, you can say goodbye as well.
Yeah, thanks for coming on today, Mason. Appreciate your time. Go Highland. Cougars, baby.
Come on, Cougars, baby. And I will give one last plug for Wiffle Ball coming up August 8th. If you can't tell, I'm a little bit further back from the camera because I had to get my D Rose on today on camera. The MVP trophy is in and the regular trophy. Looking forward to having everybody out on August 8th. Mace, blessings, brother. So good to have you, dude. So good to be in person. And that's all I got today, everybody. Keep going, and we'll talk soon, guys.